Howdy y'all, Christi here with Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be providing you guys here in North Texas, or most of Texas in general, the February garden task list. Now I like to put these out every month so that all my fellow local gardeners kind of know what we need to be working on for that particular month. And this month is a big one. There's a lot of planting tasks that can be done, some maintenance stuff, and then of course some prep stuff to get you ready for all of the planting stuff that you're working on this month. So before I get started, I have 3 sources that I'm using to generate this list. The first source is going to be this book right here. This is a fantastic resource for Texas gardeners. It breaks everything down month by month, helps you troubleshoot particular plant issues. This is just a really good book to keep on hand for vegetable and flower gardening. Neil Sperry lives in McKinney, which is in the same county that I live in. So he's pretty local to me. So a lot of his advice is really worthwhile and worth knowing and listening to. The second resource is the Dallas Garden School website. On her website, she has a 12-month sort of garden planner-esque. It's not, well, it's kind of a task list. It's kind of a planner. It kind of breaks down the things that you can be doing and planting each month for Dallas. I'm kind of northeast of Dallas, so I can follow it pretty accurately. I tend to start a lot of my vegetables for the spring and summer garden a little bit earlier than she does, but her dates are also accurate. I just start mine earlier because I like to leave room for error. And then the last resource that I use to generate this task list is going to be my own personal seedtime.us account, which is a planting schedule. It's going to break down whenever I need to be planting and transplanting and taking care of all of my different plants that I want to put within my garden. Give me just 1 second. The dog needs to be let out. Okay, I have returned. All right, so let's get started with this list because like I was saying, it is a busy month for gardening right here in North Texas. So first of all, normally each month I like to start with a shopping list. I don't actually have one this month unless there's something within these to-do tasks that you may need to buy in order to plant out, if that's what you're wanting to do. As always, any of these items on the task list, like if you don't grow beets typically, you don't have to do the thing on the list. But this is just kind of a reference for all of the fellow gardeners out there who may want to, you know, be out and about doing things in their garden. Ugh, that was a lot of garbage. Christy, edit out like the last minute. All right, I am back. Let's go ahead and get started with this task list because there's a lot that we're going to be doing in the month of February. So first off, we're going to start with seed starting for indoor stuff to be transplanted out later in the month or next month or in the beginning of April. So there's going to be a lot of vegetables that you can go ahead and start indoors now, and that includes your peppers, your eggplant, and your tomatoes. Now, I actually started all 3 of those in January. However, the reason that I started those in January is 1, to give myself a little bit of room for error. 2, I am growing items that will not be going into my garden. I'm going to be selling them as a fundraiser for my son's Boy Scout troop. And 3, some of those are also going to my daughter's Girl Scout troop for a gardening badge. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to get those last 2 reasons for starting those seeds nice and established. Keep in mind that if you do start your seeds earlier than what other websites and reference materials indicate that you may have to up pot, and you may have to up pot more than once. So right now everything is still in its original seed starting tray, but as things grow, I'm gonna need to put them into like 2.5 inch little cups, and then if they really grow fast, then I'll have to up pot again. That is obviously all going to be personal preference. A lot of people will tell you it is too soon to start things now, but if you have the space and you have the means to be able to up pot, well, it's your garden, you can do what you want. Okay, so outside of the peppers, eggplant, and tomatoes, you can also go ahead and seed start your spring and summer flowers. So this is going to include things like coleus, celosia, zinnia, marigolds. If you like to seed start your sunflowers and then transplant out the seedlings, you can do that as well. Typically, that's one that I direct sow. But you can also seed start your herbs like basil, chives, dill, cilantro, parsley, all of those tasty, yummy things that you like to incorporate into your food so that it doesn't taste basic and boring. That's a lot that you can get started indoors in the middle of winter. Now I know outside currently it's like 73 degrees, but next week it's going to be 35. So so you can't exactly, you know, put those tomatoes out yet, but you can get them started indoors and bring yourself a little bit of garden joy. Now for the outdoors direct sow stuff, this is going to be more of your cooler season vegetable items. You are going to want to transplant, onions should be on my transplant list. Okay. All right, so for direct sowing outdoors, this is going to be your cold season vegetables and annual flowers. So things like things like collard greens or beets or radishes, mustard greens, spinach, all of that stuff. That's what you're going to direct sow seeds for right now. You're also going to want to go ahead and direct sow your snap peas early in the month. So I'm thinking probably by February 10th, you want to get those seeds in the ground. Also your seed potatoes, go ahead and get those planted. And then asparagus crowns, if asparagus is a perennial, you are going to get started this year. As far as those other seeds that I sort of kind of halfway mentioned, outside of the beets, collard greens, mustard greens, spinach, and radishes, you can also go ahead and sow some carrots, kale, lettuce, Swiss chard, and turnips. So any of those stuff that we planted in the fall garden, we can replant again before it gets too hot whenever our spring rolls around. As far as transplants go, if you started seeds for broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, kohlrabi, those type of things at the end of December or in January, you can transplant those out this month. Make sure you harden them off first and get them acclimated to your outdoor conditions, and then get them put into your garden space. You can also go ahead and transplant fruit trees, grapes, and berries. Please check your Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Office website for the varieties that are recommended for your specific area. I know that the berry bushes and such that do better up here in North Texas may not be the same ones that do better in South Texas. So just check out your AgriLife Extension to see what's going to work well for you. The next thing on this transplant list is going to be native trees and then shrubs if you did not plant any of those in the fall. You can also go ahead and transplant out cool season annual flowers like petunias, calendula, snapdragons, and other flowers that may not be on this list, but definitely fall into that cool season annual. This is a good time to go ahead and incorporate color into your garden spaces, especially on warmer days whenever we may have some pollinators out and about looking for some food sources. It might be a good idea to have something out there that they can buzz around. Now, as far as maintenance tasks, this is a big month for pruning. So you are going to want to prune any of your climbing rose bushes, climbing roses, wow, words are hard, or your rose bushes. They will have different amounts depending on the type of rose. I know that the bushes you want to prune back by about 50%, I believe, but the climbing roses may not be quite 50%. So do a little bit of research on that. I don't personally have rose bushes, so I can't kind of be an expert on the amount of pruning that you need to do. I just know that it's on the list for this month. You will also need to prune any existing trees and evergreen shrubs. It is recommended that if you do have a crepe myrtle, you do not top the tree. Do some research to see the proper way to prune that tree, to shape it, to get it to look how you want it to look. If you have any peach or plum trees, go ahead and prune those early in this month. So again, by February 10th. And then if you have grapes that you are attempting to grow this year, you are going to want to prune those back 80 to 85%. Now that comes directly from the Neil Sperry book, all of those pruning tasks. So if you have that book, it may have some more information in there for you that you can refer to. Some other tasks that weren't necessarily in the resources, but might be a good idea for this month. If you wanted to add in new garden features like a new raised bed or some sort of trellis system within your existing garden, go ahead and get that taken care of this month. As far as putting down raised beds or new rows for your growing spaces, if you have a Girl Scout who has been selling cookies, save those boxes, use those as the underlayment for all of your soil or raised beds. And they will kill off all the grass and weeds for you. That way you don't have to worry about trying to dig those out and get rid of it. Then you will also want to fertilize any new trees that you have planted, any existing asparagus beds, and then if you have cool season grasses like fescue and ryegrass, it is a good time to go ahead and fertilize them. Other than that, that is all right. But that is the entire task list for the month of February. I know that this was a relatively short video, even though I detailed a lot of things that you can be doing this month. If you are doing anything on this list, comment below, especially the seeds that you're starting this month, because I want to know what you guys are growing to, what you guys are taking care of within your gardens. Hopefully, by the end of this month, I will be adding the trellis system to 2 of my raised beds out in my backyard. Otherwise, it will be done early in March. I'm just waiting for the trellis itself to arrive from Vico Garden. It was kind of on back order. So we shall see whenever that arrives, and then I will, of course, video that whole process for you guys and get it put up. The next video that I'm going to have out for you guys is actually going to be seed starting some flowers, some annual flowers. So stay tuned for that. And if you like today's video and you want to see more videos with monthly task lists, please like, subscribe, and comment. Do all those different YouTube-y things. But until next time, go find a way to get those garden manicures.